I'm the Elven Archer. Elven Archer here, and today I've been getting a lot of questions, not on YouTube, but just from my friends, of how do you make a snare? Just something simple that I could whack up when I get to camp, if I'm foraging, trapping, whatever. So this is one of the simplest and most effective snares, and it's called a twitch-up snare. So there's basically just a few elements. There's the engine, which is this. I'm using a garden stake because I couldn't find a whippy branch. You want something that has a lot of spring to it, because that's what is going to supply the power to your trap. Probably use a live branch. The second are the two toggles. This is my trigger toggle, and I just whittled this real quick out of a stick with my knife. The third element is the noose itself. The counterpart to the trigger is the stake, and this is the stake here. And as you can see, it also has the same kind of thing, a ridge, if you will, and it's driven into the ground. So the way you would set this, I'll show you. This is a closer look at the trigger, the pin, or the stake. So as you can see, the stake, they both have a hook, kind of, but not quite a hook. So this one, as you can see, has a flat spot here, and that is to accept the point actually, that is on the trigger. The reason you want a point is just because the less surface area that you have touching the other piece, the more sensitive the trigger will be. That's why some of these traps use bait sticks, which basically, instead of putting the bait directly on the trigger, you'll have a pin or stick attached to the trigger, the bait on the end, and when the animal wiggles that, it'll act as a lever, and that makes it more sensitive. But you don't need that if you have a point here. So this is when the trap is in business. You've got your trigger just barely hanging by a thread of the stake. So an animal would put its head through the noose, and you'd have bait covering the trigger, because it's going to then, probably peanut butter, it's one of the better ones, because it's trying to get the bait off of the trigger, and then it's going to loose it. So it'd just be like this. Flicking the bait, and then twang, and there'd be a lot more force, so this noose would actually close around the animal's neck. And it would be yanked up into the air, out of the reach of predators, and you've got yourself a hanged rabbit or rat. Sometimes mice will get at these, squirrels. But in the next trap that I show you, it'll be another video. I'm going to show you how to make a squirrel pole, which is a trap for squirrels. That's it for today, guys. Just thought I'd show you this kind of cool trap. Something you might try on your next outing, although you do want to check your local laws on what kinds of traps you can use. Be safe, shoot straight, Archer out.